Go. Okay. So can you introduce yourself again and say what you did in terms of serving the country?
Okay. My name is William Albert Schultz, Hospitalman 3rd, U.S. Navy. I joined the Navy July 11th, 1960 in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. From there I went to boot camp up at Great Lakes, Illinois. And after boot camp I went to Hospital Corps School, which is in the same area up in Illinois. After Hospital Corps School I was sent to Panama in the Canal zone, a dispensary in the jungle. And I spent 2 years down in Panama. I spent a year on the Atlantic side of the canal and a year on the Pacific side of the canal. And then after that tour duty, 2 years, I was sent to the USS Boston, out of Boston. And I was on a heavy cruiser, guided missile cruiser, for 2 years. And I was discharged from the Navy July 11th, 1964. And right after that, I joined the U.S. Marine Reserve in Lynn, Massachusetts. I was with the 2nd Engineers, and I was with them for a while. Then I moved to Pittsburgh, and I was with the 12th Infantry Battalion down there. And I got discharged in 1966 finally, and I got out. After I got out of the service, I worked in a factory for about 8 or 9 years. I was a chemical, what they call chemical compounder. In other words, he mixes chemicals into the making of polyurethane foam for the furniture industry and the car industry. I did that for a while, about 9 years. And then I got on Ipswich Police Department as a reserve. I was there for a couple of years in Ipswich, Massachusetts. And then from there I went to Beverly, Massachusetts, which is a couple towns over, and I spent 32 years with the Beverly Police Department. I retired from the Beverly Police Department 2003. I retired and I moved up to Maine. And I've been retired up here in Maine. I joined the Marine Corps League because I find that the camaraderie you have with Marines is exceptional, especially after you've served with them. It's something that doesn't go away. It's hard to believe that you'd want to continue being with the military after all these years, but I do. And I like being with the Marines. I've always liked being with the Marines, and that's why I joined the Marine Corps League, and that's why I'm with them. I've been with them for about 9 years. And I find it rewarding. We do a lot of things for veterans and all kind of things. We raise money and we give money. We raise money, we take it in, and we give it out to veterans organizations, and also to food banks and hospice and all kind of things. Like a week ago, I was at a hospice at Togus. You know where Togus is? Military hospital there, and I performed there. I do karaoke at home. So I sang there at the hospice. And believe it or not, there was 4 nurses there, and they sang. They wanted to sing on their own, so I let them sing on their own. They were great. 4 nurses. It was incredible. It was an incredible day there. I hope the veterans enjoyed it a little bit, but when you go to these VA hospitals and you see the condition that some of these military men are in, it's very sad, because a lot of them are in bad shape. And so you do what you can. And I'm just enjoying my retirement now. I live in Windsor, Maine. Anybody know where Windsor is?
I lived there for 12 years. I moved here when I was 12.
I live in 3 Mile Pond. I'm right on the pond.
My dad had a camp there for the longest time.
3 Mile Pond, yeah. I love it there.
Yeah,
it's pretty beautiful.
It's pretty isolated.
Yeah.
Sometimes weeks go by before I see anybody.
Really?
I am way in the woods, and I have one neighbor that lives there year-round down the road, and I see him maybe every other day. But other than that, I don't see anybody down there.
Do you enjoy that?
Pardon me?
Do you enjoy that? Do you enjoy or do you...
It's kind of, it's really quiet, very quiet. Sometimes it drives you crazy. You have to keep busy.
Right.
You have to keep busy. And there's always things to do out in the country, cutting trees and raking and cutting limbs off trees and stuff, all kind of things. Point of interest, when I was on the police department, I found it very rewarding to work with dogs. I was a canine handler on the police department, and I worked with, I had a German Shepherd. His name was Rommel, and I liked that. That was very exciting, working with dogs. I had him trained really good. You have to go to, before you're allowed on the street, a canine dog, he has to go to an academy, a separate academy just for dogs, but you have to go with them. You have to spend the time with them, and I did that in Boston. I was trained at Boston Canine Academy, and that was rewarding, working with dogs. I had a lot of funny instances that happened with the dog. I'll tell you about one of them. These three young men broke into a motorcycle shop.
I gotta keep going.
The lights
shut off.
They broke into a motorcycle shop, and the alarm went off, so I got called to go there. Mm-hmm. Well, I announced myself when I got there, and I told them I had a dog. Unbeknownst to me, the owner of the motorcycle shop had a security dog in the building, and what they did is these three young people, they had isolated him into a room by himself, the dog. Oh. So when I went into the building, my dog alerted on that dog, and when I hit the door open, my dog went after the other dog. And so they were fighting each other. They were at each other's neck. So I drew out my revolver and I shot the other dog. And when I shot the other dog, he ran out of the building and he went in my cruiser. It didn't kill him. The bullet went through him. And he went into my cruiser. Well, at that exact time, the three guys in the building that were hiding surrendered because they thought that I shot one of them. See, they were hiding in different places. So when I shot the dog, they thought I shot one of them. So they all surrendered. That was kind of funny. They all surrendered, yeah. And the dog lived. They took him to a vet, and the bullet didn't hit any bones. It went right through him. But I had to get my dog away from that other dog, and so I just shot him, and it went through the shoulder. And he ran out the building. But then I've had other instances where things were very funny, too. I was at a school, and it was nighttime. I was on midnight day shift. And I had let my dog out to run around. I got an emergency call. So I called my dog, and I thought I heard him I had the door open, the rear door. On police cars, if you have a dog, they have a platform. They take out the back seat, and there's a wooden platform back there, and he sits on that. And there's a screen mesh between the front seat and back seat. So I thought he had gotten into the car, and I reached out and I closed the door and I took off on the call. Well, it was the kind of call I didn't need a dog for. But anyway, after the call, I looked in the back seat. My dog wasn't there. I shot back to the school where I left him, and he was walking down the sidewalk. He was walking down the sidewalk, and naturally he got in the car. But that was a weird experience.
I can only imagine looking back and it's not there.
Yeah, he's not there. I said, oh, my God, I got to get back there.
Yeah.
The poor dog's on his own. He probably says, why'd you leave me?
It's like leaving your kid at a grocery store.
Yeah, I called them, and I could have swore I heard him get into the car. So I didn't look. I just closed the rear door and took off.
That's exactly what happened in the student parking lot before I got my license. So my mom, she was rushing out, and I just put my bag in because I usually sit in the front, and I threw all my stuff in the back because she doesn't notice I sit in the front, and she closed the door and sped off, and I was like, I'm still standing right there, and she was like, she was asking, how's your day? And she was like, I'm not answering, and she was like, what the hell is this boy not talking to me? She looks back, and she's like, oh my God!
It was a shock. It was a shock. And he was just walking down the sidewalk.
I'll find him.
Yeah, he'll find me somewhere. But and after I did the canine thing for about 9 or 10 years, I went into motorcycles, and I drove a police motorcycle. That is a dangerous occupation. The reason for that is you're a small target. You're on a motorcycle. You have no protection at all on either side, in front or back, and you have blue lights on it, but motorists don't see you. You're going too fast, and they don't see you coming, or they misjudge your speed and distance. And I was almost killed twice on the motorcycle because people pull out in front of you. Yeah. And that was scary, driving motorcycles. I still drive a motorcycle today. I have my own motorcycle, a Harley Davidson, but that was a very dangerous occupation for the police, driving motorcycles. It scared me. This one incident I had where I was almost killed was I was going down the street, and there was a side street, and there was a stop sign there, and as I'm going down the street, the woman didn't look or didn't see me, and she pulled right out in front of me. Well, when she pulled out in front of me, right, I was going right for the driver's side of the vehicle.
That's fine.
I was going to hit the side of the car because she stopped right in front of me.
Got it.
When she stopped right in front of me, I put on the brakes and on the motorcycle, and the motorcycle slid, and I just missed the rear bumper. I just slid, the whole motorcycle just slid, and I went around the rear bumper. And when I finally come to a stop, my heart was beating so fast, right? I just motioned for her to pull over, and I went up and I chewed her out. But I was so my adrenaline was so up, I couldn't even write a ticket to her. I just chewed her out and had her go on her way. But she could have killed me.
Yeah. Motorcycles are dangerous.
Yes, they are. You have to be in a car. I don't know. You probably notice it yourself when you're driving. Sometimes your mind wanders. You're thinking about other things and stuff like that. You can't do that on a motorcycle. You've got to be alert all the time because you have no protection. You got to look in front of you, on the sides of you, in your rear view mirrors and stuff. Because if you get hit, there's a good chance you're going to get hurt. You might get hurt bad.
You sound just like my dad. He says the exact same thing. He was like,
and you got to wear a helmet.
oh yeah, definitely.
You should wear a helmet because if you have a motorcycle accident and you don't have the helmet on and you have brain damage, you might as well be dead. And I noticed up here in Maine,